Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson.
And here we are today. And there's two things that I have to do right up front. Is we just made a high school band trip out of the country. We went on a cruise ship to Cozumel, and I just want to say to all the kids, I appreciate your behavior. Thank you for it going so well, and all of the nice compliments they actually performed while they were on ship, and many great compliments, and you represented Santa Rosa County well, and I appreciate that. The other thing that I have to do is one of my working partners has been on me for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So here you go. Hi, Tim. How are you doing? Told me that I had to tell him hi while we were doing the show.
So that's one viewer we for sure.
That's exactly. We have at least one.
And let's mention that if anybody wants to buy an ad,
absolutely,
on Santa Rosa Week TV,
we certainly have many opportunities for advertisements.
We have a few slots left.
Right, but you know I think the show continues to build. You know, I know that all of our prison stories are being watched very carefully by Tallahassee and a few other folks.
Yes.
You know, they've really been enjoying those.
Well, and that's a story that's not over yet.
Right. Yeah, it continues, and we'll go ahead and talk about that, and we'll refresh everyone's mind. Started out as the Geo Prison, and now it's called the Blackwater Correctional Institute here in Santa Rosa County. And when you look at all of this thing, it definitely leaves, it makes you scratch your head and wonder why. $110 million of your tax dollars went to a private for-profit corporation.
In a time when the number of inmates in Florida has actually been decreasing.
Has been going down.
They still, for some reason, found it necessary to build this whole new prison, private prison.
It was reported, Channel 3 News recently, that the FBI was even looking into this.
Yes.
Justice Department.
They're looking into whatever deals might have happened at the Florida legislature level.
Right. And even with all of that, our legislature, in the final days of the legislature, went ahead and approved operational funds to open this prison. And I'll just tell you, folks, I mean, certainly I'm a Republican, but I think I feel the way a great many people feel. Republicans locally do a marvelous thing, grassroots and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm a little disappointed at the state level. They don't represent me.
You just figured that out?
Well, no, I didn't just figure it out, but they continue to get worse and worse. And this is certainly a Republican-controlled legislature.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't appreciate some of that. Now, I am going to say that Senator Paula Dockery, who is running for governor for the state of Florida, apparently she has taken an interest in this prison issue in Santa Rosa County, and I'm gonna read a letter that she put out to you. Dear Secretary McNeil and Secretary South, these are two people involved in the in the prison systems. As chair of Florida's Senate Committee on Criminal Justice, I am interested in the background of the Blackwater River Correctional Facility in Santa Rosa County. I am aware that an appropriation of $87 million was made in 2008 to contract for a 2,000-bed private facility to house medium and close custody inmates. The appropriation did not specify a location for the facility or that the facility would primarily house special needs inmates. And you and I had heard that from the very beginning, that this was going to be a special needs facility.
Well, and we also heard it would be ICE detainees on column.
Right. So, Senator Paula Dockery, in this letter, I request clarification about the history of this facility, including, but not limited to, the following issues. Number one, whether the appropriation was requested by either the Department of Corrections or the Department of Management Services, and if so, the basis for the request. Now, I'll tell you that I know the answer to this already. Senator Paula Dockery is simply going to make sure that somebody mans up and answers this in writing. The Department of Corrections, ladies and gentlemen, did not request this facility. They had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Because they didn't need it.
It was absolutely a surprise to them whenever this surfaced in 2008.
There's a political need, apparently, for it.
Yeah. Number 2, a summary of the responses in this series of numbers, including vendor proposed location, proposed cost, and any distinguishing features of the proposal. So she's asked for them to answer very specifically what it was supposed to look like, how it was supposed to be designed, and the whole 9 yards. Number 3, the origin of consideration of Santa Rosa County as a location for the facility and identification of other sites that were considered. Now folks, I will tell you up front that this prison in the original proposal was not coming to Santa Rosa County. And apparently Senator Dockery has learned this also. And I don't think I've had it answered to me very well yet. But there's got to be a reason why they changed locations at the last minute. Number 4, the origin of the decision that the majority of the inmates in the facility would be special needs inmates who require chronic medical and mental health treatment, and whether that decision affected the cost of construction. And she goes on to say, I would appreciate a timely response in this request. It is not intended to be burdensome, and you can contact me or my staff if you have any difficulties in responding in a timely fashion. The whole issue here, and I'm going to say it again, we are sitting on about $135 million now that was given to a private for-profit corporation.
And don't forget this, I think it's several million locally that was handed over.
Locally, we put the road in, we put the water lines in. There was arrangements with the city of Milton for a $500 cost shift. There was the cost of the power infrastructure to be put in.
$500,000.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2 million Santa Rosa County put into this project. And I want to encourage Senator Dockery and to get the answers to these. I wasn't. We did a story on this, and we kind of watched it, and we were hearing things. I will have to admit, the point that finally got me with my interest is, how in the world do you appropriate millions of dollars to a for-profit private corporation?
Yes. That is a good question.
I have a major problem with that at a time when my school dollars are going down, at a time when road budgets are being reduced, and I'm understanding now the next place that they're going to pull money from is Medicare and Medicaid in the state of Florida.
Well, and how do you appropriate it when apparently there's been no coordination with the prison system of Florida? Right. I mean, why not just write them a check and be done with it?
I was really shocked because when we did the first show on it, somebody sent the link to the head of the PBA, which oversees all the prison guards and the officers for the whole state, and he contacted me and he just how in the world does this happen? We didn't ask for it. We don't have a need for it. Maybe yes, we need some money to do some repairs at some of our existing facilities, but we've never asked for this. We never wanted it. And
we know that there's a report out by the Florida Center for Fiscal and Economic Policy. They're a nonprofit where they've said there's no savings. There's basically no savings between privatizing this, and of course there's startup costs that you incur with privatizing.
Here's the thing, and I know that our viewers are smart enough to understand this.